You've been told your shrinking attention span is a personal failure, a lack of discipline. The truth is far more mechanical. Your brain is being starved of an essential nutrient, and the device in your pocket is the instrument of that starvation. By the end of this, you will understand the neurological process that hijacks your focus, and you'll have a 30-day protocol to reclaim it. Because the ability to concentrate is the bedrock of every single thing you want to build in your life. And right now, it's being auctioned off one notification at a time. The story we tell ourselves about distraction is built on a myth, the myth of multitasking. We believe we can write an email, check a message, and listen to a podcast simultaneously. What the brain is actually doing is switching context at a blistering speed. Each switch, no matter how brief, comes with a cognitive cost. It's called attention residue. A piece of your focus gets left behind on the previous task, like mental breadcrumbs. Switch 5 times in a minute, and your full cognitive horsepower is scattered across 5 different problems. You're left with the dregs of your attention for the one thing that actually matters. This is why you can sit at a desk for 8 hours and feel like you accomplished nothing. Your brain was running a marathon between tabs. The true problem is the complete eradication of solitude. Think about the moments that used to belong to your own thoughts. Waiting for the coffee to brew, standing in an elevator, the 2 minutes at a red light. These were tiny, unscheduled pockets of boredom. And in those pockets, your brain did its most important work. It consolidated memories. It connected disparate ideas. It worked on background problems you weren't even consciously aware of. We have filled every single one of those moments. We've plugged every crack in our day with manufactured input. This has created a state of solitude deprivation. Your mind is never ever alone with itself. This constant feed of novelty keeps your brain in a state of perpetual, low-grade agitation. It prevents the cleanup crew from ever doing its job. But why is that cleanup process so vital? And what does it feel like when it finally starts working again? Your brain has something called the default mode network. This network activates when you are doing nothing in particular, when you're staring out a window or walking without a destination. This is the neurological home of self-reflection, creative insight, and long-term planning. Constant digital input suppresses this network. It's like living in a house where the television is always on. There's no silence, no space to think. The result is a mind that can only react. It loses the ability to generate its own ideas, its own direction. It waits for the next prompt, the next notification, the next feed to tell it what to care about. The 30-day reset is about deliberately starving the reactive part of your brain so the reflective part can turn back on. It's about recalibrating your boredom threshold. Right now, your brain needs a high dose of novel stimuli to feel engaged. A quiet room feels like a punishment. A book feels impossibly slow. This is a trained condition. The goal of the 30 days is to lower that threshold, to retrain your brain to find satisfaction in slower, more meaningful activities. This is a detox, and like any detox, the first few days are the hardest. But the process itself is simple. It just requires a clear set of rules. The core of the protocol is a 30-day declutter of your digital life. For this period, you will remove all optional personal technologies. The key word here is optional. An optional technology is one you use for low-quality leisure or social maintenance that could be done another way. This means social media apps, news aggregators, video streaming sites on your phone, and games. You delete them from your phone, from your tablet, all of them. This is a temporary separation. This act creates a vacuum. Your brain, accustomed to constant input, will scream to fill that void. That feeling of unease is the entire point. You have to sit with it. Now for the steel man. I need these tools for my work. I can't just disappear. This is a valid constraint. This plan is about minimalism, using the tool for its job. It is not about Luddism. If you need Twitter to follow industry news, you can use it, but you will use it exclusively on your desktop computer. No phone app. If you need to post on your company's Facebook page, you do it from a browser, post the content, and then close the tab. No scrolling. You establish strict operating procedures. You treat these platforms like powerful, dangerous machinery. You use them for a specific task, then you get out. Personal communication like texting and calling is fine. It's the endless algorithmically curated feeds that need to be severed. This forces a confrontation. You have to ask, for every tool, what is its actual job in my life? Is this serving a deep value? Or is it just a convenient way to numb myself for 5 minutes? The answers might be uncomfortable. That twitchy, restless feeling you get in an elevator is a withdrawal symptom, a very real one. Your brain is looking for its fix. The tiny hit of novel information it has been trained to expect every 45 seconds. Pushing through this sensation is the first real work of the 30-day reset. You will feel bored, you will feel antsy, you might even feel lonely. This is the brain rewiring itself in real time. It's the synaptic pruning of pathways that led to cheap distraction and the slow, tentative regrowth of pathways that lead to internal reflection. In the first week, you need to find high-quality replacements. Read a physical book, go for a long walk without headphones, write in a journal, talk to a friend, on the phone, or in person. These activities are difficult at first. They feel like running through mud. Your brain will resist. It will tell you this is boring. It will beg for the easy dopamine of a scroll. Your only job is to deny that request, again and again. Each time you choose the book over the browser, you cast a vote for a different kind of mind. You are teaching your brain that satisfaction doesn't have to be instant. You're rebuilding your capacity for delayed gratification. That's the process of rebuilding. Or, more accurately, the process of uncovering what was already there. After about 10 days, something shifts. A constant mental chatter begins to quiet down. You might find yourself just thinking while you wash the dishes. An idea for a project might pop into your head on your commute. You start noticing the world around you again. The texture of the sidewalk, the way the light hits a building. Your default mode network is flickering back to life. It's stretching its legs after years of being suppressed. You're learning to be alone with yourself again. And you might discover you're actually pretty good company. But what happens when the 30 days are over? The reintroduction phase is where the minimalism becomes permanent. This is not about going back to your old habits. It's about building a new philosophy for technology use. Before you reinstall any app or service, you must run it through a brutal filter. First, ask yourself, does this technology directly support a value I hold deeply? Be specific. Connecting with friends is a value. Mindlessly scrolling through photos of acquaintances is an activity. Second, is this technology the best way to support that value? Maybe Facebook keeps you connected to distant family. Is a feed of political arguments and advertisements the best way to do that? Or would a scheduled weekly video call be a higher quality interaction? Third, how will I use this tool in a way that honors my intention? This means setting up rules. I will only check Instagram for 20 minutes on Saturday morning to see my family's posts. Then you use a site blocker to enforce it. Imagine a craftsman's workshop. There are a few high-quality tools, each with a specific purpose. They are kept clean and in their proper place. The craftsman knows exactly why each tool is there and how to use it to its full potential. Now imagine a cluttered garage filled with cheap, single-use gadgets, broken appliances, and piles of junk. It's impossible to find anything, let alone build something meaningful. Before the reset, your digital life was the cluttered garage. The goal of minimalism is to turn it into the craftsman's workshop. You might end up reintroducing only a handful of services. You might find that most of what you cut out added nothing of value to your life. The silence it left behind is more valuable than the noise it created. This entire process reduces attention residue to almost zero. When you use your device, you are doing one thing for a clear purpose. When you put it down, your mind is free. It's not fractured across a dozen open loops from a feed you scrolled 3 hours ago. The ultimate goal was never to hate technology. It was to put it back in its proper place, as a tool that serves you, not a master that commands you. The silence you cultivate in those 30 days is the space where your best thinking happens. It's where you solve the complex problems in your career, your relationships, and your life. It's the source of creativity, strategy, and peace. In a world that is screaming for every last scrap of your attention, the ability to consciously withdraw it is a superpower. It's the competitive edge in business and the foundation of a well-lived life. Your attention is the currency you use to experience reality. Every time you click, you are making a purchase. You are voting for the person you want to become. The ballot box is open. It's been open this whole time, and this same act of choosing high-quality engagement over passive consumption is the key to unlocking deeper hobbies and even better sleep, because your brain finally learns how to turn off